Charles, I don't know if you heard this news item that NASA launched a rocket at the eclipse, and then they discovered the densest area known in the solar system. It's between Joe Biden's ears.
I think that would be the lightest area known in the solar system.
Densest. Look at what we have here, Charles.
I mean, this to me is infuriating. We have that pontificating bozo who owns, watch it, the Washington Post, who bought it with no due diligence for $250 million. And he's out there now, having dumped his first wife, getting ready to marry the second wife, taking her to the state dinner. And he was featured in some outfit looking like, Klaus Schwab's evil twin. And here we have messing up the entire, this is a nice block in theory. This is a mess. Why isn't he paying for a warehouse? What are all these people doing here, congregating, doing business on the street? These cones, you see them everywhere. They're appropriating parking spaces. Why aren't they paying the city for this?
It's ridiculous.
It's outrageous. Don't lecture me about your vision of eating vegan fucking meat, wearing your clown outfit at some fancy state dinner that you bought your way into, and then destroy the street corners and have all these thugs milling around. I've seen them smoking dope.
Yeah.
Milling around in front of my apartment building. And, meanwhile, the waxed-head idiot mayor is probably doing everything he can to get campaign contributions from Bezos and looking the other way.
He's the mayor of Chip City.
He's the mayor.
Can you believe we have 2 cookie restaurants within one block?
I think that's pronounced shit city.
It smells good.
Well, I can't even. Yeah, now I smell it. But it's really, every once in a while I get mad. I'm freaking steamed right now.
But why?
Because we're hurtling towards war. I mean, as we speak, we should mention we're pre-taping, but as we speak, there are reports that American ships are steaming towards offshore Israel. There are separate reports I circulated to some friends with whom I communicate constantly that the Middle Eastern satrapies that we support, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and others, have told...
just one second. It's a strange thing that you invariably speak a hell of a lot louder when we go live than any time when I'm...
Well, it's louder outside than when we're talking inside. But anyway, so we're... these monarchies that are in power solely because we prop them up, and people understand that if you want to try to topple them, you're going to have to deal with us, what's left of our military, have informed, are telling, I guess, Iran that no American troops stationed in these satrapies will retaliate if Iran strikes Israel.
What?
From the soil of Saudi Arabia, UAE, or whatever, because they want to make sure that Iran doesn't turn around and then bomb the crap out of them. So, what use are these places? Why do we have troops stationed there if we can't use weaponry to defend our ally? And what about these Abrahamic Accords? What do they mean?
Threw it out the window.
Right? So, when Donald Trump won, the ass clown who ran against him, Hillary Clinton, immediately dons resistance purple outfit with her husband with a purple tie.
Right. Signals
to the crooks, frankly, who were wiretapping and otherwise surveilling the Trump campaign before, during, and after the election, signals to them, resist, resist, resist. And at the time, the mantra that was used was, we got to do this. Trump is a national security threat. And Joe Biden isn't? Come on. I mean, it's documented without any evidence that makes any sense to the contrary, that the Biden family, through Hunter and through James and others, have been taking money from foreign government-connected entities whose interests are not aligned with the U.S.
Not just taking money. Russia now alleges that they paid for terrorism through money laundered by Burisma.
Right. And so, it's not like, I think...
They're financing a criminal network. They're not just getting paid.
Right. And that's what we know about so far. We don't know what other side deals have been cut that are likely much worse than the 10, 20, 30 million that Comer has talked about. So, but the idea was Donald Trump was going to get us into World War III. Joe Biden is propelling us into World War III at breakneck speed.
The other thing they keep saying is that Donald Trump is not going to leave office or that they said when he was president that he wouldn't leave office. I think that's what Joe Biden's planning to do.
Right. Well, yeah, with this.
There's your raptor, Charles.
With this recent move, attempting by administrative fiat to protect all the bureaucrats who currently are the partisan bureaucrats who are scattered. Yeah, they changed the rules apparently, making it tougher for the next president to fire anybody. Yeah.
Whoa.
And it's just, I've had it. I did not sign up to live in a system where I have to obey the law, but the people who are running the government absolutely break the law brazenly.
With reckless abandon.
Yeah, there's this idiot, certified moron, Zakia Carr Johnson, who has now been put in charge of DEI initiatives for the State Department. This is a person who, as far as I can tell, isn't qualified to operate a pizza oven, let alone, go around and remake the United States image around the world, saying that all white people are racist, white feminists are not, don't have people of color's interests at heart, intersectionality is the way you have to rule, and the Constitution is a fundamentally racist and colonial document. You swear an oath as a government official to uphold the Constitution, not to shred it.
I'm glad you're bringing this woman up, Charles, because you emailed me about her earlier, and I took a look into her a little bit. I don't know if she's qualified to run a pizza oven or not, but she's definitely not qualified to run a YouTube channel. She's got this YouTube channel called Black Women Disrupt that has 125 subscribers.
75, right?
175?
75.
Yeah. But it's a low number, and it's got 27 videos on there. I looked at one of them that was titled A Master Class in Cinematography and Lighting. And I said, well, now wait a minute. That's an interesting thing. And I've been to some of these master classes in cinematography and lighting. The ones that I go to, there's your demon. The ones that I go to are at the American Society of Cinematographers Clubhouse in Hollywood. And they're run by the likes of Wally Pfister and Roger Deakins.
That's nice.
True masters of cinematography, people who have won Academy Awards and shot films, James Bond movies, and much more
people who basically
famous things like that, and to actually understand this. This woman is conducting an interview with someone who looks like they're 15, is probably in their 20s, because she admits, this person who's giving the master class or talking about it, that she's in film school as she's giving you this presentation. It's just basically a badly delivered PowerPoint by an incompetent person who's showing you, here's a cinematographer that I like, here's my first year college photography class project. It's a bunch of self-portraits of me naked.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. And this
not
is what
you
this...
naked, you mean this
woman?
woman?
No, the girl who's giving the presentation, the 20-year-old amateur photographer who has the audacity to name her video a masterclass in cinematography, who says she's in school learning how to use cinematography cameras. I mean, this is a moron. This is a person who I would not hire as a second AC on a low-budget production.
What does AC mean?
Camera assistant.
Yeah.
This is an idiot. And the woman who makes the video, who thinks she's, knowing something, or it's just pathetic.
Well, yeah, and the point here as well is that, in the summary press release that I saw extolling the virtues of this moron, this latest hire, he talked about the fact that she started her career as a successful entrepreneur and cited that one YouTube channel.
It's idiotic.
How does this person survive a security check at the FBI? A credential check.
George's brothers survive a security check at
but
the
let's
FBI.
stay focused. I agree, but let's stay focused on Zakia, because she's actually in charge. This person can do, and is likely already doing, enormous damage. The vision of DEI, which I think, and the other thing she has is a DEI consulting firm.
Yes.
Right, which is called something like Odera Partners or something like that. And I bet you that's just cover for, let's give this person a contract. And who knows how much money.
She should have called it, Oh, No, You Didn't.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah. Better name.
You ignorant. You call it ignorant consulting.
But I mean, Charles, to hire someone like that for the State Department, it's
a
one
top
thing.
Job, Jason. working for Blinken.
Right. I mean, it's one thing if you want to hire her for Netflix or some stupid thing that's going to make movies with these 20-year-olds who think they're masters of cinematography. This woman, I mean, it's the State Department. These are the ones who are installing Zelensky's and opening biolabs around the world.
Well, and it's worse than that. I mean, if you go back to the 2020 campaign, if the Democrats and the puppeteers behind Biden had been honest and said that because Jim Kleinberg, the black, aged, ancient South Carolinian congressman, is very powerful.
Looks like the baby Yoda.
Right, and who has this annual fish fry that you have to go down to, pay all kinds of money to him and his campaign and his friends and family probably. If they had said back when in Super Tuesday when Biden sealed the deal on the Dem nomination that the Biden administration was going to basically give only blacks.
There's this person driving right at us.
Only blacks positions of significant authority behind the scene, and preferably black women who hate white men.
And know nothing.
There is no way that Joe Biden would have actually won, because the United States of America today is not 81 or even 51 or 33% black. It just isn't. It's 13% black. And a lot of black people don't believe in this bullshit.
It's pathetic, Charles. I'm upset that we have this new building here. It blocks the view of the Empire State Building on so much of Fifth Avenue. It's an ugly, stupid thing.
Yeah. A lot of ugly, stupid things. This is the capital of ugly, stupid things.
Yeah.
Global capital. And look at these idiots in shorts in this
Wow,
weather.
they've got to be cold.
No,
They're from Europe or something with these black socks. It's probably Sweden. Hey, you guys from Sweden?
No. We're going to have a no contact policy.
I'm not going to. Sweden
I know,
is non-aggression. They would go sell weapons to some European counterparts.
Bidenomics at work. Here we are. This place was actually pretty good, Cafe 28. Out.
I've never been in there. Well, the phone is wrong again, Charles. It said it wasn't going to rain, but it's raining.
F the phone.
Yeah.
Look, this is really, I used to walk up and down here to go to the library regularly back this way, and this used to be a thriving, decent place, and it's basically wrecked.
Well, it's totally out of business.
Right. This is what happens when you have, people, even famous pundits, are fond of talking about, well, the way you measure whether an economy is doing well in a country is you look at GDP. That is not the way you should look at it.
Yeah.
You got to look at the contribution of the true private sector. People like you, like me, who are trying to set up businesses, eventually may employ people, deliver a rate of return on your capital. True private, not scumbag multinational douchebags who run places like GE and Boeing into the ground. Not those type of people who suck up to the government, who monkey their finances, who eventually destroy. Look, here's more vacant. Destroy value.
This is Fifth Avenue, we should tell people.
Yeah, this is once prime across the street, vacant. You can get your lashes done on the second floor, but this is just every fucking block.
You get 50 lashes up in there.
50 Shades of Stupid. But, if you look at the GDP and you first realize that Biden regularly gets up with that munchkin idiot Yellen and others saying that inflation's under control, it's transitory, and he's cut the deficit. In fact, the deficit for the first 6 months of the year was 1.1 trillion, right? That's crazy, right? Because
it's amazing how people block up the sidewalk with bicycles that they shouldn't have on the sidewalk at all.
Probably works on.
Probably works for Joe Biden.
That probably works for your nemesis, that lawyer.
What lawyer?
Professor.
Oh, Weissman?
Yeah. You look like
he's
Weissman.
the disciple of my nemesis.
So continuing on the GDP track, you got to first of all reduce when you're running a gigantic deficit. That's not counted in GDP, right? The negative impact of piling on more debt and more interest, it's not counted. So you can't brag about GDP, in my opinion, if you have a gigantic deficit. Step one. if you're going to brag about it, you got to look at how's the private sector doing and how's the public sector
Just so
doing.
people understand that, when you're bragging about GDP with a large deficit, is that like me saying, Charles, I make $500,000 a year, but I have a $600,000 credit card bill that I haven't paid?
No, it's worse than that.
What is it?
What they did this year is they ran up $1 million of debt to increase their reported GDP by 500,000. So it's
So I'm basically saying, Charles, I borrowed $500,000 on my credit card.
$1 million.
And I make $100,000, so I make $600,000.
No, it's worse. It's like you're saying I borrowed $1 million, and I really did a good job because at the end of the year I have $500,000 in assets.
Left, right. But it's really
But
debt.
I still owe $1 million.
So that's ridiculous. It's
I
just
know.
lying about the facts.
I know. And
Well, that's what they're experts at.
And worse than that, what they're doing is they're crushing the private sector. I mean, in California, they increased the minimum wage to $20 an hour. So there was a viral video overnight of somebody going into McDonald's to discover that the chicken whatever McNuggets,
$15.
$27.
What?
Yeah, for chicken McNuggets, including
Who would buy that?
no drink and no French fries.
I
Just
think you can get an organic entire chicken cooked for $12.
well, again, that's not the whole point of chicken McNuggets, right? You want fast junk food. You don't want good food. You wouldn't be going to McDonald's if you wanted good food. Look at this. I mean, this is obviously a sign. The garbage is here. Let's meet the authentic Korean
That's
barbecue.
the future of garbage.
And this is obviously a sign that the city is thriving. Across the street, you have a torn down building, and you have got these junk shops over there. You got construction workers. This is typical. You have 6 construction workers, 7
Looking at
construction,
their cell phone.
milling around with nobody doing any work, and the machines running.
Yeah. Diesel.
Contributing to global warming, in theory.
Well, and just
And who the hell?
smoking us out.
And who the hell is JLJ? What no bid contract was awarded to whoever is pretending to work here, and how much are they charging the city?
Right. Eric Adams gets a cut.
Of everything,
I think so. There's that demon again.
And here's this fucking asshole UN person.
Is that a diplomatic plate?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Go back.
We should
Go back to
expel-
wherever you fucking came from.
We should expel the
look,
UN.
More garbage.
Well, but that's not the containers that they said would be the future of
Yeah,
garbage.
but the point is they shouldn't be on the street like this. This is revolting. You got garbage everywhere, empty store everywhere. Empty stores. GNC, I think, is out of business.
That's amazing.
The Empire
right in the
State-
shadow of the Empire State Building.
Well, the Empire State Building.
They've got retail out of business.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is.
Oh, that was Walgreens.
I mean, don't come bragging to me about your success, reinvigorating the economy, and then have the nerve, as apparently Biden and his handlers are saying, that he's not even going to debate Trump.
Yeah, why? How can he?
That's authoritarian as fuck,
I would say.
right? I mean,
I think he knows what's gonna happen is they're gonna create a huge war, and they're gonna say this is too serious. We have to delay the election, and it's 2 weeks to slow the spread of war,
Well,
and
but-
that's gonna turn into 4 more years of Joe Biden with no election.
well, remember, let's get to the left here. Remember that during the American Civil War, look at this guy, he's filthy.
So
in
he's
slippers.
just turned here to sort of strategically do something with
Well,
regard
let's
to.
slow down.
Yeah.
Anyway, during the American Civil War, the elections of 1864 were held, right?
Didn't they try to stop it?
No, Lincoln did not try to stop it. So, I mean, that was the bloodiest conflict involving American troops ever. And
Doesn't mean they
that
won't
didn't
try
stop the
something
elections.
stupid.
And that didn't help. Lincoln's post-election life was rather short and
Right.
bittersweet. But
Lawrence Tribe made some sort of analogy between Abraham Lincoln and Donald Trump, saying that Trump saying something about the hush money case is like John Wilkes Booth saying
Lawrence Tribe,
he's such an idiot. I said you should be in assisted living eating rice pudding right now.
being fed through an intravenous drip.
Right, someone giving you rice pudding.
Right. Well, when we started this broadcast, it was in June of 2017, it was preposterous, I would argue, to go and level the type of criticisms that fairly can now be leveled against what passes for the academic elite around the world, but particularly in the U.S. I mean, at this stage, I'm ashamed to admit that I went to Harvard and Yale, not proud of it. And especially like my most recent story here we go, Captain Kangaroo. My most recent story that I saw about Harvard talked about how a professor at Harvard Business School, of course, a woman, has been relieved of her post because her specialty was identifying dishonesty. And it turned out that her work was all plagiarized.
Yeah, not me, you.
Yeah, I mean, so you're like, wait a minute. Shame on Harvard Business School and the faculty. You know, how did they let this idiot teach in the first place? What kind of diligence was done? I guess, well, it's a woman. You know, we need more women. It's an insult to women, intelligent women like my mother and my wife and others, your mother. It's an insult to say that we can't find a qualified person, so let's hire somebody who specializes in identifying dishonesty because she knows what it is, because she is dishonest. You know, I mean, it's just.
Charles, we're minutes away here from the First Amendment Forum. People are going to be able to join us on odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth, crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com, and subscribestar.com and patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. It's super important for people to sponsor the show if they enjoy watching it, because the efforts to shut down Crowdsource the Truth are only ramping up. And you know, now that I've discovered things about the history of some of the people and their families who are trying to shut it down, they're intensifying what they're doing. So I really want to thank everybody who is sponsoring. But we've got a few more minutes, Charles.
Well, is that building leaning, or is that my imagination?
I think that's the way it's designed.
The Leaning Tower of bullshit? I mean, I can't imagine. Yeah, it's definitely on an angle.
But that's how it's designed, you can see.
You say, I mean.
Well, look at the windows, and the top is straight.
No, I understand that, but I don't have comp, and we just had that earthquake. I wouldn't want to live in a building like that.
There was an aftershock. Did you feel it? It was pretty small. It was in the 2 range.
Right. Nothing compared to what you see in Mexico and
4.8 is not nothing, but you're right. It's a lot lower than those. Oh, here's the other thing. So we were talking last night on John Cullen's show about this wave anomaly that was detected, and John was wondering if it was caused by some sort of asteroid. There's some sort of meteor shower going on.
I think Lizzo just turned over in bed.
Exactly. Well, they decided it was some sort of sensor anomaly or something like that. But Shepard was texting me this morning. He's finding other information that maybe something else was going on. I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens that they lie to us about. Yeah,
well, actually, on that subject, people point out that the sensors that are used to measure our friends in Norway global warming do not properly measure the surface of the Earth. Often they're placed on asphalt. It's just the career idiots who thirst for power. They've got to have power. They've got to tell us what to do, attempt to control our lives. Most of these people, like your film expert masterclass,
right,
have no relevant experience.
Exactly.
Like Pete Booty.
I would not dare to have the audacity to produce a video and call it a master class in cinematography and lighting. I might.
Well, this is resume inflation, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe stereoscopic cinematography would be the one thing I could say I'm a master of. I'm pretty good at creating computer graphics, but I'm reluctant to declare myself a master of anything.
Well, isn't master a verboten word in any case?
Good point, exactly. Yeah, why would she choose that? Well put, Charles. Listen, let's continue the conversation in the First Amendment Forum. We're out of time here right now, but thanks for tuning in, everybody. Join us. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth is the most economical way to sponsor the show. Just $3 a month plus 58 cents for Odyssey. You get access to a huge array of legacy content. That's all free, actually. We'll be back